astounding again. So in other words, IGF-1 is a required ingredient to create a microenvironment, bathtub water, proven to be conducive to breast cancer causation and invasiveness. In fact, women with high circulating levels of IGF-1 have 38% more estrogen-driven breast cancers than those with low IGF-1. This is one of my favorite studies to talk about because I often see women in my office who were just diagnosed with breast cancer and they don't have a gene mutation, plus or minus a family history, but they're just listening to some of the things I say about how diet and lifestyle can make such a tremendous impact on now and the future. And they're like, listen, doc, like you're really cute and all talking about the, kale. But it's too late for me. I'm overweight. I've been like this since as long as I can remember. I run out of breath running up a flight of stairs. I have breast cancer now and it's all just too late. No way, sister. Let me tell you about this study. So all you have to do is what a group of 38 obese women did following the Pritikin plan. Okay. You're going to eat a low fat, high fiber, whole food plant-based diet with daily exercise classes. Oh, wait. Ladies, before you go, let me check some blood markers. I'm going to drip your blood onto 3 different breast cancer cell lines in Petri dishes. And whoa, okay. All the cell lines show robust growth with very little apoptosis. Remember, programmed cell death or cancer cell suicide, apoptosis. Interesting. All right, everybody, run along for 2 decades and just follow the Pritikin plan. Low fat, high fiber, whole food plant-based, daily exercise. I mean, even if you just walk briskly for 30 minutes a day, go for 2 decades. No, I'm sorry. I mean, 2 years. Wait, that's too long. I can't keep focused that long. Let's do 2 months. Actually, you know what, ladies? Come back in 2 weeks. Why don't you? All right. So they come back in 2 weeks, draw the blood, look at the markers. IGF-1, right? The bad daddy. Estradiol. So by the way, 80% of all breast cancer is fed and fueled by estrogen. 80% of all breast cancers have little receptors on the outside of the cell that is like an antenna waiting for estrogen from one of 4 sources to hit this receptor, which will then tell the cancer to multiply and divide. Believe it or not, it's actually a really good thing when you do have breast cancer to have estrogen receptors because we can modulate that really readily, not only with drugs, but with food and with activity. But anyway, I digress to tell you that estradiol in high amounts is a bad thing when it comes to breast cancer. So having less of it is a good thing. And insulin, we're going to talk about this when we mention exercise and adipose and fat. But insulin is a direct breast cancer promoter, and it actually ups the enzyme aromatase activity, which is converting precursor steroids into yet more estrogen. So bad, and bad all go down, 19 to 37% statistically significant. And the IGF-1 binding protein, so that little body snatcher that grabs it out of circulation, went up by 32% in 2 weeks. But what I really want you to see is the Petri dish farm. All right, so this time, new blood. Give me some new blood. I'm going to drip it on these 3 breast cancer cell lines in these Petri dishes. And okay, cell growth has dramatically slowed down. Nice work. And apoptosis, that cancer cell like explosion thing happening where it dies. It's demonstrated here by the white dot. And this is you 2 weeks ago, my friend. So your blood just went from this wimpy 1 dot wonder when it comes to cancer cell death to bam, a veritable constellation of cell suicide in 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks is all it takes to transform your blood into a cancer kicking machine. So no, it is never too late for you. All right, so IGF-1 ignites cancer, but so do nitrates and heme iron. Some might call processed meat by friendly names like sausage, hot dog, bacon, but the IARC, the International Agency for Research on Cancer calls them potentially deadly. In 2015, 22 scientists from 10 different countries poured over 800 epidemiologic studies to answer the question, are red meat and processed meats bad for you? Their conclusion, okay, so the IARC is part of the WHO, the World Health Organization. In other words, they're kind of, not kind of, they are bought by no one. There's no one sitting there who's funneled many millions in research dollars or just fund money for their next family trip to Italy to sway opinion, okay? So we really hang our hat on what the IARC designates as carcinogenic to humans and not, because of this level of integrity that we believe they have. All right, so the IARC, after, I'm sure they left the room, but they're locked in that room, poring over the studies, all of these, multi-ethnic researchers, scientists, and they bestowed the highest warning level possible to the consumption of processed meat, all processed meat. They labeled it flat out carcinogenic to humans with the same certainty that we would say smoking and asbestos and plutonium have on human health. They classified red meat as one notch down, probably carcinogenic to humans. Okay, so, I dove into the nutritional science when I was writing my book, Breast, the Owner's Manual, simply to prove with fact that every single fact I wrote in my book could be backed by credible research. I did this with every single fact in the book. There's 60 pages of references because I didn't want to spread falsehood. I knew the book would come under fire, so I wanted it to be bulletproof. And I just need to be right. Makes me delightful to be married to. So I'm diving into the nutritional science to show with science that the way I eat is the best way, which in 2017 was largely Mediterranean diet style. I'd been vegetarian for a long stretch, but then this challenge I gave to all of my residents, not my residents, they were my cohort. We were all residents at Virginia Mason in Seattle. And I'm like, hey, we're all getting like fat here in residency. Let's do the Atkins together. Huge challenge. Just long story short, 10 people started, 4 people finished, including me and 3 guys. And I peed on those strips. I was ketotic every single day without fail. But it was during that time that I didn't poop, and because all I ate was cheese, basically. And so I reintroduced chicken, turkey, and fish into my diet. So I was 28, 29 at the time, and parked it there for some sad reason now in retrospect. But anyway, prior to that, I had been vegetarian. Long story short, I have been eating now these lean meats, kind of Mediterranean diet, so much fish. Oh my gosh, like radioactive sushi for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, never checked my mercury, didn't want to know. My husband and I were like, just give me some Toro. All right. So that was I back then. And I dive into this science to prove it that, I ate tons of fruits and vegetables. Most of my plate was that, but plenty of meat. And truth be told, I was queen of the cheese platter at parties, like 5-year age Gouda, Manchego. It was gorgeous and disgusting and killed you and not good for animals. We'll get to all that. Okay, so science. All right. I was so blown away by the rock solid science about how detrimental all of this animal protein consumption was to my current and future health. But somehow, despite all of this, I was reading and researching and writing, and I would write, I should say, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would write for 15 to 18 hours a day. I usually had good intentions. I would wake up and put my workout clothes on so that I could work out at any moment's notice in the given day of research and writing. And I usually then would take my unsweated in clothes off and get ready for bed, go to bed. Like, I just never made it. I got so absorbed by the research and the writing. But I also had a full-time job. And at the time, our triplet sons were just turned 8 on this particular day, July 5th. And they went to camp. And so people would be like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. You have a full-time job and you're writing this book and you have all these kids and how do you do it? And I was like, I don't know. I don't parent. Like, I have no idea what my kids are doing. So in fact, after I finished the book and they started third grade, I remember I took the morning off to bring them to their first day of third grade. And some mom came up beside me and she's like, oh, you're Justin's mom. Who did he have for a teacher last year? And I was like, I don't know. Okay. So anyway, just that's me. So I was diving into this study. She did have a point. I do. This study of the IARC ruling the morning after. You ready for this? It's really like stripping me down, telling you, because I'm embarrassed by it, but then not, because I feel like this resonates with others. They're like, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So I run downstairs. Boys, I think I'm going to be like present mom today. You're going to camp. Yay, so exciting. Let me impart upon you my 1980s upbringing where bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes made you fat. So I'm a carb phobe and I'm going to make you lunch. And I'm going to take these organic turkey breast slices, processed meat. I'm going to take these organic turkey breast slices and wrap them around a mozzarella stick, cheese. And you're not going to get any bread, sweetheart, because I love you. I'm going to put it in lettuce. Yay for lettuce. Okay, go, Kristi. So I put these cigarettes into their lunch boxes with some like fruit and who knows what else I did. I just know I did the turkey breast cigarette roll up. Off they go upstairs, unveiled this study for the first time in my entire life. It had been 2 years earlier at that point. It was 2017. This was 2015. I'm like, how come I didn't hear about this? But let me look into this some more. And I'm like now just pulling my hair out about how obvious it is in science that all of this animal protein and now this processed meat is so bad for you. The kids come home from camp. I'm like, thank God they're still alive. I go flying down the stairs. I'm like, boys, come here. We go over to the refrigerator and I fling the doors open with great panache. And I say, boys, we're going vegan. And they're like, yeah, what is vegan? And that was it. That was it. That very moment we unloaded the refrigerator, I filled 4 grocery bags to the brim with this $50 salmon fillet that I had just gotten to barbecue and my therapy cheese drawer. The don't touch this expensive cheeses that went in, opened the freezer, looking at veggie patties and thinking they were going to be good. Nope. There's milk in there. There's cheese in there. It all goes in. And oh my gosh, the truth there, which I wish and we threw it away. And no, we didn't. We drove the 1 mile to my 90-year-old parents. And I was like, here, guys, it's too late for you. 1, don't believe that. But 2, they would have disowned me as a child, being products of the Great Depression, if I had thrown away hundreds of dollars worth of perfectly good carcinogenic food. So it went to mom and dad, where I'm sure they happily consumed it. And for some reason, they're still in their 90s and alive. Okay, grateful for that. Okay, so that's processed meat, but this is a breast cancer talk. So does processed meat cause breast cancer? Sure enough, when the NIH AARP diet and health study came out, we found that they followed 193 plus thousand, robust study, postmenopausal women for 9.4 years. And they found a 25% increase in breast cancer for red and processed meat consumers. Okay. By the way, they also found an increase in colorectal, gastric, pancreatic, and prostate cancers. How would you like your steak? Raw, rare, medium rare, well done, or burnt to a crisp? Well, I'm going to just go with not raw because that's going to cause life-threatening bloody diarrhea. What are you going to go with? Not very well done meat. So here's what happens when you consume grilled or burnt meat and its relationship to your breast cancer risk. Those who had the highest incidence of eating hamburgers had a 54% increase in breast cancer risk. Bacon, 64% increase. Beef steak, 121% increase. Hey, doc, I love me some meat. Give me all 3. Okay, all three, a 362% increase in breast cancer. So this is the higher breast cancer risk, all of these percentages relative to women who eat black bean burgers? No. Relative to women who choose rare or medium done meat. So all that risk is from the carcinogens of high heat cooking. We're comparing meat to meat, just the type of cooking, not even like the highest quantity of. It's just, so it's not from the IGF-1 in this story. It's that certain mutagens, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and hydrocyclic amines to be exact, are cancer-causing compounds that form on the surface of well-done and what some people would think were deliciously grilled, smoked, roasted, pan-fried, or barbecued meat. So these heterocyclic amines, they form on the surface rapidly at high temperature. However, even baking like chicken at lower temperatures, say for 15, or I think you cook chicken for 30, it's been so long now since I cooked a chicken. So however many minutes, it leads to those same HCAs on the surface because of a chemical reaction between the heat and the creatinine in muscle tissue. Hear what I said? That reaction. So that's why it doesn't form, the carcinogens don't form on fried and grilled veggie burgers, on your charred broccoli, which is like so delicious. So they don't have any measurable HCAs. Okay, so this is Dr. Esselstyn. I call him Dr. Essie at his house, and this is his house. I popped in because, you know, Rip always puts on Instagram, if you know Rip Esselstyn, puts up like their fun family meals where they're like going down like this little train of delicious food and piling it on their plate. I'm like, I want to come and do that. So they let me. It was fabulous. And I just have a picture there to prove it. But my hero, Dr. Esselstyn, has something really incredible and powerful to say. If you do not see Forks Over Knives, this is, with their permission, a 60-second clip reproduced from there. To me, this is one of the most powerful 60 seconds a person could listen to. Watch it not play. Oh, there it goes.
In World War II, the Germans occupied Norway. Among the first things they did was confiscate all the livestock and farm animals to provide supplies for their own troops. So the Norwegians were forced to eat mainly plant-based foods.
Now we look at the deaths in Norway, just antecedent to this period, from heart attack and stroke. 1927, 1930, 35. Look right up here, right at the very top, 1939. Bingo! In come the Germans. Immediately, 1940, wow, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Have we ever seen a population have their cardiovascular disease plummet like this from statins, from bypass surgery, or from stents? No. But look what immediately happened. With the cessation of hostilities in 1945, back comes the meat, back comes the dairy, back comes the strokes and heart attacks. I mean, it's such an absolute powerful lesson. But we didn't get it.
But we didn't get it. Oh, it's like a dagger through my heart. It really is. Every time I watch that. And then people watch that and they hear the facts that I just powered through. And then they say, you know, that really hit me. I get it now. But